What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Misfit-Mansion-Podcast. I am your host, Izaac Doherty.
And I came to fuck shit up and fuck bubblegum.
Wait. Woo! Misfit-Mansion. What? Oh boy. Do I have plans? What is it going to be about? What are we going to be doing in this joint right here? We are going to be talking about music. We are going to be talking about things that you never hear about. We're going to be talking about things that go on in the world, our personal lives, our laughs, our cries, our smiles, our lows, and many, many more. What I really cannot wait to do is every first and second third technically. So first and third Monday, so twice a month, ideally, I want to do a segment, Metal Motherfucking Monday. That's what we're going to do. It's just a whole day dedicated to heavy metal music and talking about heavy metal. And I just want to put this out there real quick that if any of my family is listening, you're probably not going to like it. So just putting that warning out there. And then maybe once or twice a month, just doing a complete Music Monday, having local musicians, artists, anything. I listen to the whole shebang, singer-songwriter, DJs, rappers, you fucking name it, man. And of course, what else will we be doing on Misfit Mansion? Because it is Misfit Mansion. Stories that you only hear from that one uncle and some debauchery. Sober or possibly intoxicated stories and more with friends. You never know. It's the Misfit Mansion, man. We're going to be getting it cracking. Oh, shiza, the mic almost fell over. Oh, look at that. But, yeah, what a past couple of years it has been. Year or two, I should say. Oh, my goodness. Surviving 2020. Congratulations, for real. And everybody give yourself a pat on the back for making it through 2020, for the love of fucking God. Well, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, actually. We got a new president. We watched the Irishman get his shit fucked up. I'm actually going to be talking about that later. Man, what the fuck else? Oh, yeah! Congratulations to the Buccaneers for that Super Bowl win. Sweet. Something else I want to put out there quick about my podcast is I am not a very... Okay, this podcast, it's not a political podcast. I don't want to bring up politics, and something else I do not want to talk about on my podcast a lot, even though at times it will come up, but the main derivative of this podcast is not to talk about politics and not to talk about motherfucking COVID. I, like a lot of people, am hopefully aware of this of COVID-19, and boy, do I hear about it every fucking day. And the last thing I want to do is talk about it on my podcast. So, moving on, I digress. Yeah, man. It's just I don't know. You think Joe Biden's just permanently smiled like that for the past 10 years, or do you think it might be another operation to actually get him to frown again? Anyway, that was so stupid. But the first thing we're getting into, the McGregor fight. Oh boy, do I love UFC. Boy, oh boy. Today is kind of a rambler episode. You get a little taste of me, myself, and I, your host, Izaac Doherty, and we're gonna see what this is about. So, McGregor's fight. I was rooting for McGregor, but also you have to have a lot of respect and understanding for Poirier and their skill level. You're putting the best against the best. A lot of people are like, oh, Conor didn't check the leg kick. Conor this and Conor that. He's the greatest. And yeah, he is, and so is Poirier, and he won that belt. And the big thing is a lot of people have never been hit in their life half as hard as these two people are hitting each other in the fucking ring. Literally, those calf kicks, from slight experience, but like you have to understand that's like someone taking a fucking wooden baseball bat and just right on his leg, dude. It's terrible. Like I've done some martial arts in the past a long fucking time ago, and I've been banged up on jobs and shit, but like when you've been hit, you've been fucking hit, and damn, like people don't understand how debilitating that is to Conor's leg, dude. You can't, when your leg has been hit, I went back and rewatched it, the entire fight, and just watched Conor's leg, how many times he got hit, and Poirier got his fucking leg, I think 8 times in the last like 30 seconds or fucking, like the last 30 seconds of the second round, dude. Was it the second round knockout or the first round knockout? It wasn't fucking first, it was second or third. It's been a minute since I've seen the fight, but I went back and rewatched it, dude. And in that last round, I think it was round 2, he literally hit his leg 8 times in 30 seconds or a minute. And then went back and like in total, he kicked his leg like 20 fucking times. Ugh. Conor is a very, he danced with Mayweather and shit, dude. He's got range. But if you know anything about the fundamentals of boxing or fighting, if you cannot step to snap a jab, you can't put any weight on that. So you have no mobility, you have no movement, it's awful. It's awful. And like, Dustin deserved that win. Like, he earned that win fair and square. Did I want to see it be more of a brawled out fight and none of whether? Oh, totally, absolutely. But like, I was a McGregor fan and I wanted to see him win. But also, like, there's just a lot of people that realize like, there's so much more going on. Then something else too is that Conor, as a southpaw, traditionally doesn't fight a lot of southpaws. So for him to fight southpaw against southpaw, that's a totally different ball game. That is another additive of him not being used to it. And I also heard, to give credit to him, I listened to Dustin on the Hot Ones episode that he was on, and he even said the hardest person he's ever been hit by was Conor McGregor the first time he fought. So he's already been hit by McGregor, so he understands the power of those hands. But like, I just loved the good sportsmanship between the two of them. That was fucking awesome. Something else too. Yeah, I bet that noise was sexy. Something else too. Nunes and Anderson. Co-main event March 6th. I'm excited for that one. I'll tell you what, I'm excited for that one. I like Nunes. Nunes' style is sweet. She's vicious. And I found out about Megan Anderson on TikTok, actually. TikTok, I sometimes question why I even use the thing. I think it melts your brain slightly. That's what like all the old people were fucking saying about technology and shit at one point, but legitimately I feel like TikTok is actually bad for your health. just a little bit. But I ran across a post of hers, and it was her posing over a countertop talking shit to a comment. And I was like, okay, she's built, she's cut, but I had no idea who she was. I just saw the TikTok and was like, man, she's putting off some vibes and energy. And she's like, she said something along the lines of like, I could, like, a chick that could probably kick your ass. And I was like, I mean, let's see what the other people have said. So I clicked on I looked at the comments for a second, then I looked at her page, and then saw gloves on fighting, and she was a UFC fighter. I was like, oh, well, the energy has changed now, hasn't it? And that she's going against Nunes, the fucking champ, bro. Like, ooh, interesting. I watched some of Megan's fights, and she's tall, man. She's tall, and she's got reach. She's got some hands, and I think she's 11. I think they both have 4 losses, and Megan's at 11 and Amanda's over 20 wins. So I'm excited to see what happens between those two ladies. Quite excited. Sports. That's just a ramble-damble. But man, I'm not going to talk about COVID a lot directly, but since I'm going to be having Metal Motherfucking Monday and doing, hopefully, Music Monday as well, this podcast is going to have a definite foot in the musical realm and put a healthy amount of healthy slice. You know, a healthy dose of like 1,000 milligram. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But like a healthy amount of music, well, conversation and such for this podcast. But like COVID and music, oh my, like what it's done to venues, not seeing shows, and what like I'm a big fan of the Metal Sucks podcast, and I'll listen to a couple others that are just awesome. But like hearing them talk about, like, they just help shed some light and elaborate on like how shows are a very, very, very big part of any band or performing artist's career, because a band will make most of their money when they are on the road or they are touring. And a lot of that comes from merch, the ticket sales. Like it's like, don't quote me because I do not know actual numbers, but it's like literally I'd say like 60-40 of like maybe 40% income can come from the album's release itself, and then like 60 comes from predominantly touring and playing shows. So just when they help shed light on helping people understand that like this shutting down shows is brutally like hurting the music industry. So like once vaccinations get out and and circulation and some years go on, I just cannot wait for this COVID shit to cool off. Fun, man. It just sucks. I've known a couple people that have got it, but you know, I've already stated that we're not gonna sit and talk about COVID that much. So we're gonna switch gears real quick, and I was on this harbors today, as you know, every man and woman does once in a blue moon. They do visit and do you know, and I was scrolling, and porn titles need to chill. Like this one was something special. I'm scrolling and it oh my god, the fucking title was "Cute Babes Turned Into Fuck Meat," and I just started losing my shit. And it's not over. It's "Cute Babes Turned Into Fuck Meat and Abused in Every Way Possible." And I was just so caught off guard by the title, I just started dying laughing. Like, I had a complete laughing fit. Lost all interest on why I had priorly, like, went to the site, laughed for about, like, 8 minutes, and then went on with my day. Like, oh, man. That was just something special right there. You don't see those very often. Just like ladies want to act like they don't have some of the most vile, disgusting things in their search history. But man, when I was scrolling and I saw "fuck meat," I'm like, that's, you know what, man, that's a new one. I will give it to that guy. That is a new one. I have never seen "fuck meat" used and referred to a human being. Like, oh my fucking god. Oh my god, I can't help but start grinning and giggling thinking about it. Terrible. Man. On the topics of debauchery and such and know-how, I love comedy. I do love comics. I listen to and watch a handful of comedy. And something that people, if you're a fan of comedy and you watch a good amount of stand-up comedies on Netflix or Hulu or such and such, if you like that comedian, definitely go onto Spotify and check out if they have their CDs or their specials on Spotify, because there's a good chance that when you go to do that there are probably anywhere from 1 or 2 to 4 or 5 albums that they've put out that is not on Netflix. It's not on a special. Some of it may be on YouTube in some hidden, discreet locations that you gotta go searching for. But, like, you'll find some material that, because comics don't recycle material, typically. So, like, or, like, damn near fucking ever. So, if you'll just find some shit you didn't expect. And there's a certain, having gone to a comedy club, there's a very, very, very different energy when you're actually sitting there in the audience, sharing the laugh with people, hearing the laugh, and getting the... It's like being at a show. It's very much so like being at a show. You get the taste, actually feel and experience the performance that is being had on stage. So, like, literally, I gotta give 2 shout-outs to Tom Segura and Ron White. Tom Segura, I'd watched his specials on Netflix, liked them, came back and forth with watching them, and then got into him again, and he's got me going. But today, or another day or 2 ago or something, I'm just kidding, it was today. I just wanted to establish some suspense. But, literally, it was, I think he put it out in 2012. And I saw the album White Girls with Cornrows. And I was like, that sounds like something Tom would say. Never heard it. I've heard all of his specials on Netflix. And I'm at work. And, like, quick pause. That's why a lot of love goes out to listening comics as opposed to just watching them on Netflix. Because it's those times that, like, it'll really help you get through, like, say that things are just dragging on, or you've been going to work and things are so mundane. If you have the ability to listen to headphones at work, I flick it on, and I'm not kidding when I say White Girls with Dreadlocks. Go check it out on Spotify. Literally, I almost spat out my water as I was walking around work today. Near the end of my shift, like, I almost had a legit spit take and was like not almost crying, but trying to very, very, very strongly contain myself while I'm at work. And it's just catches you left field, because you watch a special or two and you think you know, or like have a grasp of that material, or you like maybe you know what to expect. But the cool thing is, like, comics, just like musicians, their style will change and evolve as they get older. So sometimes, just like a good old, like, a Slipknot album or a Korn album, or I'll get a little bit more gnarly. So, like, you go and listen to some old school Crania, or fuck it, like, you throw on an older album before a band, like, hell, Bring Me the Horizon is almost the perfect example of that. When you go and throw on a band, like, an old album from a band that you've listened to for a while, and they're fresh and raw and not sculpted into what they are today, and they're a little bit more loose and a little bit more wild, and it's like, whoa, like, you know, like, say you got on board with, I'm just going to use the big mainstreams for right now as an example. Say you got on board with Slipknot around All Hope Is Gone time, you know, Gamerita's like, whoa, man, that's crazy, and, like, Psychosocial's got you rocking, but then you go back and listen to Iowa or Self-Titled, and you hear some shit like fucking Surfacing, and you're just like, oh, or Eyeless, oh, man, and you're just like, oh, this is a little different. You know, it's a little different. It feels a little wrong. I like it. It's a little different. That's what she said. But, yeah. So, and Ron White, oh my goodness. I can honestly say I slept on Ron White for a very, very, very long time. Because, like, I'd seen banners and such here and there for his stuff online, and I go and I'll like watch the preview and I'm like, okay, it's like cool, but okay. And then it was one morning like a month or two ago, I was sitting and I had my coffee and I was like, you know what, I've seen it here and there, I'll whip it on. So I threw on if you stop listening, I'll shut up. And man, I was about to say, I'd say like 15 minutes in, 15 or 20-ish minutes in, I actually had a legit spit take with my coffee. I took a sip, like a good moderate size sip, just have a good palate filler, if you will. And the joke came in, caught me off guard. I started laughing. I couldn't swallow. What she said. And literally, like, it progressed, it built, and it built, and it built, and then I put my hand in front of my mouth, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I'm spitting coffee into my hand, trying to hold my shit together, running over to the fucking sink, because I'm not trying to spit a whole mouthful of coffee all over my living room. It was just like, whew. And that's also another thing, too. Musicians, just like comics. Just because you've heard one or two snippets or a little bit of this from certain artists or comedians doesn't mean that you shouldn't give them maybe a deeper chance or a more in-depth listen. Because I feel like I've cleared my throat like 80 times. We know what you were doing last night. As I roast myself, but... I didn't think I'd have fucking COVID. Jesus Christ. Comics, just like musicians, give that listen a little bit more. Maybe you don't like this album or these two songs off this album. Go back 1 or 2 albums. The 2 or 3 album spot is actually a good spot, really good spot for musicians. If you want to maybe see if you like what they create more. And on musicians that are slept on, I am entirely, this one caught me off guard today. So I was on the Spotify, as we all do, as I don't know what time you're living in if you don't know, at least know of or have Spotify right now. And it was, I just put on a mix. So I'm working and I hear some Polyphia and I hear some Animals. It was an instrumental kind of mix, some more eclectic. I hear some Animals, I hear some Polyphia. What happened to you, Jim Bob? But it's a mix of stuff. I heard some Currents, some heavier stuff, some Yum Yum, and then this different track turns on and I'll listen to prog too. I listen to everything except for country. Gotta put that out there. I am not a country fan. I say it with pride. I like some older stuff, like some Johnny Cash and some maybe like classics, but other than that, it's just not my cup of tea. I don't hate it. I hate the vocals. You sound like boomers talking about metal, dude. Yeah, because at least at least a country artist, there's music behind the singer. You know what I'm saying? But like, dude, I live in Indiana, bro. Like, if I don't like country music and I live in Indiana, you know I actually don't like country music. So sad. I'm kidding. But it was Between the Buried and Me. Between the Buried and Me. Totally caught me left field. Totally did not see it coming whatsoever. I get hit with what song was it? Hold on. I bet I can find it, but literally take Jesus Christ. Take Hail Satan. Take Cowboy Bebop's intro, if you watch anime. Yeah, also! And take take Cowboy Bebop's intro, take like mid to new Bring Me the Horizon and Incubus's Redefined and make them have a threesome. And that is how I would describe the song that I heard. What was it? I cannot think of it off the top of my head. I will figure out what in the fuck it was, and I will mention it probably in the next podcast episode. So how you feel about what happened at the Capitol? I don't want to talk about politics. So we're not. Because I bet, like most people, we just hear about it every single day. And I'm going to say, at this point in time, thank you so much, if you are still listening, for listening to episode 1 of the Misfit Mansion Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Izaac Doherty. And I am very much so looking forward to getting the Metal Motherfucking Monday and Music Mondays going. Looking forward to getting to talk to some people and having more than just me, myself, and I. Because we just got a little intimate over the past 20 minutes now, didn't we? God, you imagine if I actually talked to people like that? Oh, goodness. Yes. Thank you so much for listening to this first little short episode of the Misfit Mansion Podcast. I hope you come back and visit again. Hope you all have a splendid motherfucking day. I think that's the first time I've said splendid outside of saying Splenda. Oh, Jesus. All right. I didn't steal that from anybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.